My ex said I'd never find better, so I married his brother. Ethan dumped me via text while I was at my grandmother's funeral. The message came right as I was giving her eulogy. We're done. You're too emotional and I need someone more stable. His twin brother Lucas drove 3 hours to be my +1 because Ethan claimed he was too busy with work. I'd been with Ethan for 4 years of him calling me dramatic whenever I cried, needy whenever I wanted quality time, and exhausting whenever I shared problems. I thought that was normal. Lucas and I had always been friendly at family gatherings, but that day something shifted. He stayed by my side through every condolence, handled relatives asking where Ethan was, and didn't leave until I was okay. While I was burying my grandmother, Ethan was posting Instagram stories from some rooftop party. Over the next month, Lucas kept checking in. Not romantically, just making sure I was eating, sleeping, functioning. He'd drop off groceries with little notes like, "Your favorite ice cream was on sale." He remembered I was lactose intolerant, which Ethan forgot constantly despite dating me for years. Meanwhile, Ethan was already dating someone new, a yoga instructor named Serenity, who apparently never had bad days. He kept posting about how peaceful his life had become and how some people just bring chaos wherever they go. Lucas started inviting me to trivia nights with his coworkers. I discovered he was actually the funny twin Ethan, just repeated all his jokes and took credit. Lucas remembered my coffee order, my work schedule, even my cat's vet appointments. All the things Ethan had stopped caring about. During one particularly hard night, Lucas showed up at my door at 2 a.m. with Chinese takeout and my favorite terrible reality show. We talked until sunrise about everything. My grandmother, my fears, my dreams. Things I'd stopped sharing with Ethan because he always made me feel silly. The night Lucas kissed me, he apologized immediately. Said he'd been fighting his feelings for months, but watching Ethan treat me like I was disposable made him realize he couldn't stay quiet anymore. We started dating in secret. Lucas didn't want family drama, and neither did I. But keeping it hidden was torture. Every family dinner, pretending we were just friends while Ethan made snide comments about his upgrade. Everything exploded at their mom's birthday dinner 6 months later. Ethan brought Serenity and Lucas invited me as a friend. All night, Ethan kept saying I was probably still crying about us and some people just can't move on. Their mom mentioned Lucas seemed happy lately. Maybe he'd found someone special. Ethan laughed and said Lucas needed to stop being so picky or he'd end up alone like me who couldn't handle real life. That's when Lucas snapped. He stood up, pulled out a ring box, and said, "You mean the woman you dumped at her grandmother's funeral?" Lucas said. "The one you mocked for crying while burying her last living parent?" Ethan looked like someone had punched him. The room went dead quiet. "You called her too emotional. I call her brave. You said she was exhausting. I've never met someone more full of life." He turned to me, pulled the ring from his pocket, and dropped to one knee. "You're not too much. You were never too much. You were just with someone who couldn't meet you where you are. Marry me?" Ethan's face went through 17 different expressions. Confusion, shock, betrayal, rage. His jaw literally hit the floor. Serenity asked who I was. When Ethan stammered my ex-girlfriend, she immediately wanted to know why he'd called me pathetic if I was obviously incredible enough for his brother to propose to. Lucas said watching Ethan lose me was his wake-up call, that I deserved someone who saw my emotions as depth, not drama. The whole family cheered. Their mom hugged me and said she'd always hoped I'd be her daughter-in-law, just thought it would be with the other son. Serenity dumped Ethan that night for being a toxic narcissist, and their entire family started planning our wedding. We got married 8 months later. Ethan moved across the country and posts bitter quotes about family loyalty on social media. I wake up every day next to someone who thinks my feelings matter and shows up when life gets hard. Turns out Ethan was right, I never did find better. I found perfect.